Hey there, YouTube family. It's Stocks with Josh, and as you can see, I'm back with my friend Larry Jones.
What's up, good people?
If you have not been introduced to Larry Jones, let me introduce you. He is Mr. Jones, and he has Stock Up with Larry Jones. He has a page which talks about financial literacy and financial education. I'd love for you guys to go to his page and subscribe. Most of you, or probably a lot of you, have been introduced to me through him, but today if you're not on his page, you're on my page, but we're in his studio. But go over to his page and subscribe. Today we actually had a chance to visit with a gentleman here locally in Northwest Indiana, Chicagoland area, where we were talking about bringing some financial education into schools, into troubled urban communities, but I think that was a good meeting.
It was a good meeting because one of the things we talk about food deserts, but there's also education deserts in inner cities.
Yeah, we're bringing people, trying to inspire people to become doctors, lawyers, and then get them into finance as well. But today we're going to talk to you guys quickly about some stocks. I called out a new stock play in the community section on YouTube today. TAL, Tall Education Group. Now, this is a Chinese play, but they're actually a company that operates a holding company which engages in the provision of after-school tutoring programs for primary and secondary school students. And I'm going to share with you guys, this is just some real basic fundamentals. This play was actually brought to me by one of you when I asked all of you guys to share a stock with me and to guess where it was in its stage of accumulation, markup, distribution, or decline. One of you guys brought me a stock that might be in markup. That's our favorite stage. That's the stage where we make money. And so I've been tracking it, looking at it, and researching it a little bit. And today I decided to take a position in it. I called that position out to you guys. I am going to revise some of my numbers. I'm going to share the charts with you. And then we're going to talk about one of Larry's stocks that he wanted to do some charting on. So I want to share this with you about Tall Education Group. Zach's rating gave it its value score of a B, indicates it would be a good pick for value investors. It's basically been beat down. You guys know that the Chinese stocks had gotten beaten down quite a bit, but there's quite a few analysts who are saying that they have been beaten down enough and are trending that may be moving into a much more powerful trend up for a period of time. Maybe not long term, but that they're in and they're overly sold and it's time maybe to acquire them. We've been noticing a lot of Chinese stocks move. Obviously, NIO is one of the plays. BABA is one of the plays. Did you want to comment on that?
Well, this fits into the Chinese stock. You said Tencent, Alibaba, NIO. Those are some of the hotter Chinese stock that, a lot of people were pouring into. The fear was Chinese stock being delisted. Now, the Chinese government has said, hey, we're going to do what's required. And so now that fear has went away. And if you noticed over the last few days, a lot of the Chinese, a lot of American investors have started to pile back into these Chinese stocks, with the exception of these sell-offs. So the fear of them being delisted essentially is gone away temporarily because they keep doing these cycles.
Yeah, and I agree, Larry.
Yeah.
On that note, Zach's rates them as a B for a good pick for value investors, and they rate them as an A as a growth score, growth potential. So that I have not done a deep dive in the fundamentals, just a little bit, but I am going to quickly go over the charts with you guys. I'm going to tighten up some of my numbers of expectation, and then we're going to talk a little bit about Larry's stock. All right, so here's the thing. Let's just quickly go over some areas of support and resistance. I gave you guys today the entry price of $585. It's come down beneath that, and I gave you a stop loss price of, I think, $565. I'm going to revise that stop loss price, and I'm going to bring it actually all the way down to $533 for now. And I'm going to give you an entry price, if you haven't gotten into it, of $5.65. What we are playing, just to be very clear, we've got a nice bullish candle that's given us a bullish indicator and a buy signal. We are above the 100 and 200 day moving average. One of the most important things I want to point out to you is the fact that the 100-day moving average has crossed back over the 200, which typically signals a much longer up cycle. So we have these bullish indicators that are firing. We have the crossover of the 100 on the 200. We've got this beautiful bullish candle that has signaled an additional move higher, and we're currently above the 15-day moving average. And that's the specific place that we're playing. We're playing a bounce off of this 15-day moving average, which I gave you guys 585, but I would say that it still has the potential to go down to 560. So our buy range right now is between 580 and 560. I don't want you guys to get left behind. Our stop loss is going to be back here where you see these levels of support. That's support. That's where the new level of support is. So that would be around 541. So we could see it pull back all the way to 541 and bounce, because this is a previous area of resistance that's now become an area of support. In addition to all that, I just want to point out one increase in volume here. Please note that. And we're in the bullish territory of the RSI. These are all great signals for me, so I'm jumping in. You can do you. And I would just say this is not financial advice. This is for educational purposes. I'm sharing with you why I'm making this trade. I'm giving you guys my entries as well as my exits. I see that we have, I'm going to zoom out here on this chart to give you perspective of where this could go. There's a lot of room to the upside on this particular play, but we're looking at playing this level back here, this 877 to $10 range. I think this thing's going to move. That's why I jumped into it. I like the chart on it. I like to buy when I get a lot of confluence in the chart, right? Which would be volume, RSI, MACD indicator, moving average crossovers, and support. I've got all of that on this, and so I'm taking a position. That's basically it in a nutshell.
Let me share something with you now. He gave you the micro. This is scalpel, like he's doing surgery. He gave you the micro. Let me give you a more macro look on it that you can see. That kind of aligns with what you're saying. We'll go to my chart here, and so if you look for the day, it's down, right? But if you look for the week, it's actually performing well. Here's what I do like about it. So we all been talking about the June lows, right? The June lows is where, everybody has been talking about the June lows where the stock market hit the bottom. But if you look at this year to date, if you look at the June lows here, that's impressive that a stock that was $1.75, during the June lows was still at $4.
Yeah.
This is what's impressive to me, which is showing a lot of strength.
Absolutely.
Right? And so it's quite interesting that sometimes we always chase the quote unquote sexy stock, and then some of the boring stock are some of the ones that, you have opportunities to make money.
I have to throw this out, Larry, that I gave back a little bit because I gave all of my followers an opportunity to shout out a stock that I would give them some advice on.
And when he did that,
and
I was like,
no,
they're about to work you to death, bro.
And I did spend over 5 hours looking at horrible stock. And every time when I'd go to search, I'd be like, let me guess, NASDAQ. But then,
explain what you mean by NASDAQ.
It's all growth stock. It's all growth stock. It's all technology, which is a hard hit sector. And so every time I saw the name and I searched it and I saw there was NASDAQ, I was just like, oh, it's going to be another dog. But this one popped up, and out of 100 stocks, this was the only one that was green. And so I moved it up into my watch list. I've been kind of babysitting it, and I saw a pullback and an opportunity for me to get into it, and I'm bringing it to you guys. Absolutely.
Yep. That's it.
All right, man, that's it. Hey, I just want to tell you guys how much I love you all. I love connecting with you in the comment section. It's been great. I look forward to it.
Talk about them links, man. Talk about them links. Because today is the last day.
Yeah, why don't you share that with them if you don't mind?
Hey, so good people, today, if you're watching this right now, the MooMoo 13 free stock, that ends today. Today is the 31st. So if you have
best offer to date.
Absolutely. Make sure you click the link below and download it, okay? Download it if you haven't. If you've downloaded, make sure you fund it. If you use this link, you get an extra, that's how you get the extra 3 stock, okay? Read it carefully. You could start with $100 deposit. They give you free stock, and then if you increase your deposit amount, you get you get more. Then also too, for those of you that are following my $5 a day challenge, Webull has reoccurring fractional shares. So I've taken my top 5. You take your top 5 $5 a day.
Can you shoot them out, your top 5 real quick, Larry?
Well, my top 5 now. Here's so as it's not confusing. My top 5 is Apple, Microsoft, Google, VTI, and I had VOO. But what I love about it is reoccurring, meaning you could literally say, I want $5 a day of Apple, $5 a day of Google, $5 a day of Microsoft, and it allows you to pick up to 5. And you only do it once, and it'll trade for you all year. It will buy all year long until you tell it to stop. So you take it out of your hands. I always say this: the biggest person you have to protect your money from is you.
For me, this is actually philosophically, it's under an investment strategy called stacking,
Yes.
where at the bottom of the base you put your most secure investments. Those are your most consistent patterns. Those are the ones that you make sure you can pay that bill first, which would be the bill to long-term investment. And then
Exactly.
above that, you can place other things. You can place, and at the very top, you might have some risky plays. You might have some meme stocks.
We're going to have plenty of time for the risky play.
Yeah, exactly. But your base needs to consist of plays just like that.
Yep.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. Just let me know in the comments section your thoughts on TAL, T-A-L. As always, peace and blessings, my friends. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you, Larry.
Live, love, laugh, and learn. Peace.